Yourself?
Well, I'm Connagh Johnston. I've traveled a little bit closer than you have. I've come from out the road in Stoke-on-Trent. And, you know, I'm just happy to be here. It's not my first time in IC, but last time I was here for an IC was 2018, my first ever Masters tournament. So it's good to kind of experience the environment from a different limelight. I'm only spectating, so I'm not getting to play, but it's nice to see everyone having fun, just seeing everyone again, and hopefully get to see a nice champion crown at the end of the week.
Trick. Rotom comes in its place. It is going to be a bit threatening to our entire ladder. It is a flying type. One of those trade-offs you do have to have with Specialising. Yes, you lose that weakness to fighting and all the other weaknesses you have, but then you lose that buff to your special defense and you gain weaknesses to other common things, such as this Rotom.
Yeah, kind of its thing.
I quite like it. When it was first ever revealed, I was like, I fell in love with it. It felt like if Chansey and a Frog were put together. And seeing its moveset, I was a little underwhelmed. But then we saw David Kutesh use it at the last event in Europe. And just seeing it having a small move pool, but then utilizing all of it, like with all these Pokemon like Garchomp and Tinglu coming, if you get its ability to proc, you can then just get a weakness policy and then Muddy Water something, and then that's just gone. It's surprisingly strong for a cute-looking Pokemon.
Take any moves away, but luckily there is no moves going into that slot, just allowing for a passive bulk up to come from the opposing Annihilate. So Nezzy is now having to face down something that is getting bulkier and bulkier each turn. With even that super activity and the buff to Rage Fist, it did less than 50%, and now we're in that situation where Nezzy to start to think of what they can do and can they break through this wall. They might have to rely on a crit, and with those boosted attack as well, it's just going to be able to hammer hard in return, and losing that immunity to the fighting type moves means that if you just go for a Drain Punch, that's going to heal a lot, even if there is a redirection. I think Sylveon could maybe hang on, just as we see Meowscarada coming on in for Pengy. So two Meowscaradas on the field. Hyper Voice goes out before the Annihilate can attack. Meowscarada goes down to its sash. Annihilate lives on that 1 HP most likely. And Rage Fist is going to be a bonkers amount of damage.
In terms of favorite Pokemon, I have to go with Ursaring. Because, you know, back in 2014, I got a Worlds invite with Ursaring. I was only a junior, but it was just using Kangaskhan, but fun, because you could have Guts boosted Facade.
So are you saying Kangaskhan is not fun?
Yeah.
Very valid. So I'm imagining Ursaluna coming up as well at some point, maybe with a home.
Oh, I am looking forward to that. Slap it next to a Chien-Pao.
Yeah.
Or, you know, have Ursaring of Eviolite now, which is quite bulky. I'll think of that with your Stantless situation. I'll think, bulk up Eviolite, that thing is bulky, and I've used it on ladder before. I loved it.
I mean, it's a very good shout. You heard it.
Kingambit coming on in will take some of these moves from all these Pokemon very nicely. Flower Trick coming on through, going into that floor, just actually gets the critical hit knockout, adds loads of damage, and that just kind of does put eSchool off a little bit and forces in some of these Pokemon that might not take this damage. Wave Crash going to come on through, does about 50% to Kingambit. Rekill to Dondozo, revealing one of those new, really strong, powerful moves that we got this generation.
You've seen a lot. And I'm also liking that we're getting back in that trend of giving teams names. Like, can we agree here? Is it Balafin or is it Palance?
Oh, I've heard both. I've heard Palance. I've heard Balafin. I mean, PAAF is new to me, but I mean, it made half. Okay, yeah, all right.
All right, okay.
You could add Pathaloo if you want, because Tinglu is always with them right now, right? So you have the Path Core. You can go with the D-Knight Chien-Pao with the other two spots, or you go with like Tinglu and something else. So it's like Path Plus or Path Minus. Like that's kind of the way you're running it, I guess.
Dash, I've got it. I've got it. The path to victory.
The path to victory. I'm trying to be on the path to victory. I know Marcus is too.
You heard it here first, folks. The path to victory.
The path.
The path. That's the path.
A lot on the line.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot on the line. As you said, this determines where you really sit going to that next round in the playoffs. And especially when you're so high up in that bracket, you want to kind of control that flow of where you are and say, I've got the strength of the bracket, I dominated that top bracket, so let's show what I got for that next couple of rounds. Of course, both these teams really fought hard to get where they are, so they're going to be fighting even harder to get further than where they are, especially when there's prizes on the line towards the end of it too. As getting a good clearance on that, but we did see onesie, but did get a little bit too greedy there for, you know, I can chip it over the keeper whilst I'm right in front of them, and those are the sort of things you can't really go for, because you get it in, that's a good thing, you tripped over the keeper, you've done it, but you make one simple mistake in that situation, and that is the opportunity for the keeper to get it back, or to any of the other teammates to get it and pull forward. As we have seen here, it is 1-for-1 now, but, you know, the opportunity was taken a little bit later than they did want to. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers and those sort of things. You can go for skill, and then Superior getting the goal there just to kind of say, you messed up a little bit, but I'm going to come and catch your feet, and I'm going to get it in there for you. The ones who are having more of these offensive plays and are only really able to slip past once they fail to convert those defensive plays. We do see a great shot there going on through. Doesn't quite get past it though, as Ollie is straight onto it on the other side of the field. Gets stopped in the path by Peak Deek, who then plays it on Vard. Goes down the sides, is playing it around everyone. Past one, not past two though. As you see, Gecko does get a chance to kick it up. Ollie then plays it out, and as we've been saying here, Ollie, even in these first few minutes of this match, has been amazing in making sure the ball hasn't gone net. It comes on through, and we nearly see Patrick get their own goal, but the crossbar, everyone's favourite little goalkeeper, stops it from going through, goes on further back, goes on again, hits the sideboard, and goes down again, it goes onto the post, it doesn't get it, Stucky Sucker saves it, but Kieran, you beauty, comes in for a third goal. Meaning they're now on 3 in this game alone, and about 5 or 6 across the entire series. Kieran, take a bow. You're doing amazingly so far. It went in the hands of Le Croissants, went and got that goal. Game 5. This is going to be the one where the team's going to have to be crucial. It's going to be the one where, you know, you can't have any shenanigans. You can maybe score a goal, mess about for a bit, but you can't mess about too much. You can't be too passive. You can't be too, direct. You have to find that perfect blend. It's like making a smoothie right now. You can't just throw ingredients in and think you're going to get something out of it. You have to have everything at the right ratio to make sure it tastes nice, and a victory tastes very, very nice, especially if you get it on a game 5. Score from this, or they keep going, and it is that next lap they are aiming to go for with a very open play in the field. Allows Nope to go through and is really, really close to even a second run through. That 3-pointer is now open. A long shot goes in, and what an amazing goal to open this game 2 here. 3-0 to the Croissants when they had a long, long game. They are not waiting this one out. They are going for blood this soon. Finals. Well, as they do say, let them cook as we come in to this game. Our players are all rearing up in the background of our footage here. Yeah, they're gonna really be fighting for this. A very, very tiki themed resort, it does seem, for our final stage. If we go into that countdown, Hidden Xeno is going to be a hidden tactic that brings the win in